What is playing out, and you have mentioned that already, first and foremost, that we achieved the Q3 guidance, and I'm quite happy what the team has overall achieved in this very challenging environment. You mentioned it, 277 million euros EBITDA, which was down -8% compared to previous year's quarter. At the same time, our revenue went down 22% or almost 23% to 3.6 billion, and it shows exactly in which direction, let's say, the third quarter and also the interpretation of third quarter is going. It means that a lot of self-help has led to that result, and that we have met the guidance that we have before given to the capital markets, and that is the journey that we will also continue. Nonetheless, the overall environment is getting more and more challenging. We see positive signals throughout the year by the automotive industry. However, the electronics industry, an important market for us, is still challenging. Same for the furniture industry, upholstery industry, as well as for the construction industry. Construction industry is really worrisome from today's perspective, as here we do not see any slowdown in the current decline. So overall, a very challenging environment, yet at the same time, Covestro, from my perspective, has done a fabulous job to master this environment, as I said, due to a lot of self-help, and that has also led to significant cost savings.
Say for the inflation watchers, there's probably some music to their ears in these numbers. The performance materials price erosion almost 20% here. What's the floor? How much more can we see prices drop in that area?
Well, prices are already at historically rather low levels, and so are margins. And that is the thing that we are looking for, primarily the margins, because we have seen raw materials coming down, and normally we are operating in a corridor above those raw materials cost, and those are driven by supply-demand dynamics in the end markets where we are positioned. That is particularly the construction industry, as I mentioned, for the performance materials business, but also the furniture industry. The good news is Covestro has in almost all regions leading assets in terms of the cost structures, and that sets us ahead of competition, and that also enables us, still in a very challenging environment, to load our assets. And here we still have more potential, and that is exactly what we're currently looking for. As you said, we have, due to the current outlook, where we do not see a quick recovery coming for the economy, also narrowed our full year guidance now to 1.1 billion euros EBITDA. And at the same time, we're looking already into 2024. And we believe, due to all the self-help that we have, increasing volumes out of existing assets, investing in the right place, and also continue our efficiency and cost consciousness focus, that we will see a better 2024 despite the challenges for Covestro.
Looking at the various different regions in the portfolio, to what extent is stimulus making any difference to the numbers here, from the Inflation Reduction Act in the United States to the stimulus we're seeing in Europe versus on the ground very targeted stimulus in China? Is this touching the sides at all when it comes to the business?
Well, I think the stimulus that you just mentioned does not have any significant short-term impact. And that's once again why Covestro is heavily relying on itself in driving its results, driving its profits forward. The stimulus, and you mentioned the Inflation Reduction Act in the United States, is driving investments in the United States, but is not necessarily for us short-term driving demand. What is really important for us, that we have a global footprint with regard to our consumer industries, so we can supply in China, for example, to the very successful Chinese automotive manufacturers. We can therefore also balance some shortcomings that we currently see in the European automotive industry. And we are also very well positioned in sustainability trends. Just to mention one aspect, we have just recently inaugurated a large plant for specialty elastomers, and those materials are used to produce photovoltaic panels. And here you see we're investing where the markets are, with sustainable materials and for sustainable industries. And that is what driving our mid to long-term strategy, which we are still pursuing in full swing.